And if I'm not mistaken, 5 seconds early. So Dutch will be very happy. What's up, brothers, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Life Barbecue Podcast. Coming to you live from the Uncle Steve Shake Studios in Center Bonstead, New Hampshire. It's the podcast where we talk everything barbecue and a lot of topics that you normally talk around the pit. Happy Monday, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Folks, get ready. We're going to have a time. It has been a hot minute, doesn't do it justice. And I was just saying before we came on, I don't even want to know. I'm so embarrassed about what that number and time frame was going to be of when Brother Alton last joined me on the show. So we're just going to put that in the past real quick and just keep on chugging into the future. And you know what happens every time Alton's on, we have one heck of a conversation, and I'm expecting nothing less tonight. But check the chat real quick. Daddy Dutch first in. What's up? Tom's Food Factory. You'll make it this time. Good to see. Good to see. Gav 1313. Evening Mags. Evening Kent. Alton. Tom. What's up, Uncle Steve? What's happening? Get your kids and wife off the internet. Oh, boy. Dave LeConte, what's up, brother? Matt Pereira, what's happening? All right, guys, let's get into it. Tonight's episode brought to you by Uncle Steve Shake. You know him, you love him, everyone's favorite uncle, with now 19 amazing flavors. That's, yes, folks, the new pizza shake. If you have been under a rock, you need to try it. Anything Italian, pizza, lasagna, pasta, plain ass noodle pasta. No butter, no sauce, throw it on there. Fantastic. Beef stew. Yes, I said it. Beef stew. Pizza shake is amazing on it. Best I can describe it, it's an Italian seasoning on steroids. It is incredible. So check that one out. But while you're there checking that out, you know, don't sleep on them magic ribs, the Mi Amigo, the competition line, everyone's favorite Gator shake, and the OG, the original, and many, many more. Always small batch, always fresh. Steve wears all the hats, mixing, bottling, labeling, packaging, shipping, the whole nine. He has a question about what you ordered. You might get a phone call or an email from him because he wants to make your shopping experience and your barbecue experience perfect. So he wants it all lined up. Check him out at UncleSteve'sShake.com. Follow along on Facebook at Uncle Steve Shake Nation for all the latest and greatest on shake. And remember, Uncle Steve Shake, shake some on everything. Also brought to you by Joe's Meat Market, the diamond of Roy City, Texas. Gabriel and his crew, man, they do an incredible job. Protein selection, awesome. You need a specific thickness cut or a certain way, he's got you. Are you looking for something he might not carry? He'll work with you to get it in, to get your recipes off and running. Produce, fresh, brought in daily. For all us backyarders and comp guys, he's got us covered too. Lines of multiple seasonings, sausage, injections, marinades. I still call it the new, but the Joe's Meat Market house line of seasonings. Check those out. Smoky wood products, splits, chunks, chips, pellets, charcoal, the whole nine. I love it. I just picked up a new bag of the good old Texas Post Oak. You know how I roll, but that's sitting out there in my chunks and my splits. And while you're there, if you get that little rumble in the tummy, he's got you covered too. Gabriel's mom's behind the counter whipping up some of the most delicious cuisine out there. So grab a plate, grab a bowl, sit down, talk barbecue with some of the boys, and make a new lifelong friend over this live fire insanity that we call barbecue. So if you're ever in the Royce City area, swing by Joe's Meat Market and tell them I sent you. Remember, folks, Joe's Meat Market for the win. Oh, let's see. She is, Miss Jean. How are you, dear? Miss you, love you, everything in between. Dave LaConte, the candy. That's one load of the Halloween candy Uncle Steve gives out on Halloween. So he's expecting 1,000 trick-or-treaters. Yeah. Larry Vaughn, afternoon from South Jersey, competed in the Red, White, and Q in Jackson, New Jersey at the Butterfly Camping Resort on Saturday. Second place chicken, 16th ribs. Got to walk and work that in 10th overall out of 20 teams. Awesome job, Larry. Congratulations, brother. Congratulations. And there's Daddy Dutch. Are you ready for this one, Alton?
I see.
Oh, is it not coming up? Oh, it's going to be a lag a little bit. May 5th, 2020. Ouch. Ouch. I knew that one was going to hurt. Man, but what's 20? We were just and how quick everything goes by, and damn. All right, brother. So I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, and I should be absolutely above and thank you for saying, you know something, Mag? Screw you. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. You know them. You love them. YouTube personality. Incredible man, incredible family man. The man who literally keeps the great state of Texas running. You like that TV on? You like that air conditioner? I'd be nice to this gentleman. And then we'll get into a few more things he's been up to. But ladies and gentlemen, please, it's great to have him back on. The Dawgfatha himself, Mr. Alton Matthews. Brother, how are you? You look fantastic.
Hey, man, I appreciate that. I'm good, man. I'm thrilled to be here, brother. You know, anytime you got a spot for me, holler, I'm here.
Oh, man, that's great. That's great. Uwe Braun, what's up, brother? So, man, like we said, we were chatting before we came on, and, obviously Dutch had to throw that salt in the wound there. So, what have you been up to the past 5 years? Yeah. Thank you, Dutch. I owe you a big one. There's a receipt coming back your way, son, as he's laughing hysterically in his garage right now.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. No, man, I mean, 5 years, man, as we were talking, before the show here, dude, a lot has happened, in 5 years. It's gone by so fast. Yeah. We as you guys remember, we battled cancer and we're coming up on the 5th year now. Hopefully our next scan here in a couple of months, if we get another all clear, we'll be able to get the port out and then officially close the book on that one, hopefully. So yeah, man, we spent the last 5 years kicking cancer's ass, and hopefully, we can say we beat it and we're done. But we've been doing that, man, and we've just been working, cooking, podcasting. I mean, you name it, dude. We've been doing some of everything, man. I keep a low profile. You know, I haven't. I don't get out there as much as I used to be. Kind of out there. You know, throw everything
Yeah.
on the internet and you know, and we had some unfortunate incidents, I'll say, with the internet, with the YouTube community, and so it kind of, you know, let me reevaluate, pull back a little bit. So we pull
Mhm.
back a little bit and focus on what's important. You know, is what it really comes down to. So, but yeah, man, we're still here and we're still loving it and still glad we got people like you and Uncle Steve and, you know, Trumpet Master and, you
Yeah,
know,
Lewis is in
everybody out
there.
there. Yeah, everybody's out there and pulling for us. So cooking with Steven and Jacqueline, you know, hey, man, y'all are all still family, man.
Yep.
Still family. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep, absolutely. Brother Steven coming to us live from Trinidad and Tobago every
Yeah.
week without fail. Fob fan, what's up, fellas? What's happening, brother? Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, man, where the hell are we gonna start here? So, well, first off, I'm gonna have to give him a shout out. And just because you and I are both proud card carrying members of Team Backline.
Backline. Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know, have you talked to Mr. Newland? I spoke with him the other day. He just got out of surgery on his hand, had a little accident pop up of a torn tendon and a drill bit or sheet metal somewhere along the line. But he's laid up, but he's back working. He's got the guy across at the shop across the street coming and helping him. He's one handing things and can't stop that boy.
You know, and here you are actually giving me an exclusive because I didn't even know that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, he texted me the other day and he asked me, you know, about something totally unrelated and, you know, texting back, you know, whatever. And you know, Ryan, man, he gets busy doing stuff, you know,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. And so he'll hit me back and I hadn't talked to him yet.
Okay.
So, but no, man, I got to hang out with him a few weeks back. We went over. He had his I think this is the second, I can't remember if it's the second or the third annual where we did the steak night over at his house, and we
Uh-huh.
fired up the multi tools, and you know, everybody got steaks and cooked their own steaks, and we just had a good time, man. So yeah, man, Ryan is he's a cool cat, man. He's a cool cat.
Yeah. Yeah, he was telling me, yeah, I gotta go. I just got back. I had to meet with the plastic surgeon. I'm going into surgery tomorrow morning, and I'm like, plastic surgery, son. You don't got that type of money to fix your ass. You know? He goes, typical, right? Screw you, Max. But I go, what'd you do? He goes, no, it's on my hand. He goes, I was drilling something out and it slipped. And I can't remember if he said the drill bit hit him or the metal hit him on his right hand, split him wide open. But it caught the tendon just enough that it frayed the tendon for his middle finger.
Yeah.
And he goes, whatever. He taped it up and did whatever. So about a week later, he was putting on his sock. It wasn't getting any better. And he was putting on his sock and he heard a pop. And
Oh
then
yeah.
his finger just went, whoop, and he can't move it. So it went to there. So they had to reattach everything or tie up, you know, do a little plastic surgery welding of their own on him. So he's he's there with his arm up and all this, but no, he's Ryan. So he's back at the shop doing anything he can do one handed. You know, that boy doesn't stop. That boy
That's
doesn't.
Ryan. That's absolutely Ryan.
That's it. But I think we will start. We caught up with him, but yeah. Speaking of backlines, and obviously you are known from the world famous destination of Barbecue Boulevard. What is in the arsenal on Barbecue Boulevard these days?
Oh man. So you know, I'm an ambassador for Pit Boss. And so we've definitely got some Pit Boss products back there.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, on the Pit Boss YouTube channel, we have a playlist there that's called the Backyard Bosses. And so, for a while there, I've been putting content on their channel on that playlist.
Okay.
And so earlier this year, they decided, hey, we're going to start your own playlist. So now we actually have a playlist of our own, and it's Barbecue Boulevard with the Dawgfatha. So we
Nice.
are doing cooks on Pit Boss products, and we're doing it, putting it on their channel, and we're having a blast with it. But yeah, we've got the Pit Boss, the whole one side under my pergola is all Pit Boss.
Okay.
So we've got a horizontal 1150 DX. We've got the championship barrel. We've got the Phoenix, which is their kettle model.
Yep.
So we got that. We got a vertical 7 series. I've got the 3 burner now of their gas griddle.
Oh,
So
nice.
I had the 5 burner. It was a little large for what I was doing. So we moved out the 5 burner and pulled in the 3 burner. And so we've been rocking with that. So the whole one section, when you see, my videos, and I've got my banner up in the background, that whole half is pretty much all Pit Boss products.
Nice.
So that's what we got over there. But you know what? I still rock my I got the Lone Star grills. So we still got those. We got the pellet cooker there. We got the El Patron. So we're still rocking with those. We got the Huntsman, Spider Grills Huntsman. We got a couple of kettles. We've got the what else we have here? We've got the Chud Box, the OG Chud Box. Not the new
Oh.
stuff. Yeah, not the new stuff.
Oh.
We got the OG. So we still got that. We got the backline offset. And then we've got the live fire, all out around the pool, on the pool deck. We've got live fire cookers. So
Nice.
yeah, we've got the original. I don't know if you've ever seen this one, but this was the original backline piece. This is the very first backline piece I ever got from Ryan. And so I had it in the back corner of the yard. I wasn't really doing much with it. And I decided, you know what, since I'm playing around with all this live fire stuff, I may pull this thing back out. So we pulled it out, reconditioned it, put it back into service, and we've been cooking up all kinds of stuff on there. But we've got that. We've got the Can-K grills, if you know them. We've got one of their models. I think it's the Amara Pro or whatever. Great little starter live fire cooker for anybody out there that's looking for something like that. You can hang stuff on it, and the whole nine. Got a clamp rack.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's got all that. So we got that. We got the backline multi-tool is back there.
Yep.
We got a Fogues TX Alamo Pro. So if you ever watch Al Fragoni, where he's got his the big wagon, we got one of those back there. So yeah, we got that. We still got a Grill of Grills Kong, which is their ceramic grill. So we got that back there. We got the El Charro. So yeah, we still got a ton of cookers back here on Barbecue Boulevard, man. We got a bunch of stuff I haven't cooked on in a while, to be honest with you. But I still say that, hey, I want to have a situation where I get enough people over here, content creators over here, that everybody's cooking on, something at the same time. So
Yeah.
hoping to still make that happen.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Steven Lozano, what's up, brother? So, Steven, were you that YouTube handle that I butchered pretty well? The Moose Barbecue, what's happening? T-Dub Barbecue, what's going on, brother? Thank you for tuning in. Dan Kimball, 16 Mesh Barbecue in the house. Thank you, brother. Thank you. And Big Rome. Oh man, I got to take a quick second. Big Rome and everybody out there who knows Big Rome, send the young lad a big congratulations. Big Rome's competition saison has taken 4th place in this year's Rubs of Honor. So congratulations, brother. Well deserved.
Good stuff.
And good luck to your Dodgers, brother. Good luck to your Dodgers, but
Yeah.
congratulations. That was great news. Great news. Chris, Eastwind Farms, what's happening, brother? Uh, so Barbecue Boulevard seems to be live and well. Always something going on.
Oh yeah. Hey, but before we continue, I want to piggyback on that with Big Rome, because I know that Joe's Meat Market is one of your sponsors. Had to go ahead and wear that. And Rome's the one that sent me this shirt, when he sent me some of his rubs a little while back. And I got to tell you, man, every time I wear this shirt, I don't care where I'm at, people always come ask me, man, hold up, where is that? Is that here in Austin? Is that your spot? And I'm like, no, man, it's a meat market up in the Dallas area, So I've been sending people up there. I don't know if they actually make it, but I've been telling everybody about that. And Rome, I got to tell you, man, I told you a while back, that's the zone that the original you sent us. My kids loved it on chicken, right? Absolutely love it. Well, recently, my daughter, the one I told you, Max, just turned 21. She asked me, she wanted barbecue spaghetti. And so I made pulled pork with it. And, and Gene doesn't really care for pulled pork that much, right? But I broke out this sazon and put that on that pork shoulder and made some pulled pork with it. And she just had some here a little while ago. And she said, you know what, babe, this is probably the best pulled pork you've ever made. And that's using Rome's sazon there, man. So way to go, Rome.
Yeah, man, he's nailing it with all the lines so far. They are incredible. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, he's been working on those for quite a while. So to see that earlier this afternoon, I'm like, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Much love, brother. Congratulations.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Nice. That's beautiful. Oh, there you go. Alton, you still got the M16 grill.
Actually, I do not. One of my friends actually has it right now. So they're cooking on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Wow, good old Barbecue Boulevard. Bro.
Yeah, man. We're still here. We're still kicking it and having a great time. So yeah, man.
Absolutely. When you had popped into the chat, we'll go this. We'll go the social media route for here. When you popped into the chat the other day, and we're having a great time, and going back and forth, but we all agreed that social media, at least the algorithm, and it seems to be not, here I was thinking, it was just me, but after that, I've talked to a lot of people, and it was the same thing. And, Brother Rick was saying it last week too. The eyes have kind of gone away on as a why am I losing the word? Content creator. And like when with me, it was you had literally I saw it was your pulled pork and chipotle coleslaw video. And I'm like, damn, I haven't one of your videos has not popped up in the longest time. Neither had Rick's or a lot of the guys for that matter. And I literally have to go back and make sure, okay, I'm still subscribed, because there was that one time everyone had the glitches that YouTube was subscribing them to pages and then unsubscribing them from the pages they wanted to be on. I'm like, maybe that is going on again, but what do you think has been going on with all this algorithm stuff? Because I know you dive deep into all the analytics, especially on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, things have gotten really funky and switched up a lot. I know for me, my feed, a lot of the stuff that I was watching, I didn't see anymore. But in all fairness, I've been watching a lot of other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and so I just within the last probably, I don't know, man, maybe 2-3 weeks, I'm starting to dabble back into the barbecue world of videos because I hadn't really been. I've been watching a whole bunch of other stuff, dude. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
other stuff. And I did not make it to Vid Summit this year. They just had Vid Summit here beginning of October, and I didn't make it to Vid Summit this year, but I was there last year, and the guys that wrote the algorithm were there, and they filled us in on a lot of stuff, as far as how the algorithm works, and what's going to be served up to you, and the direction YouTube is going, and all of this, all of this stuff. Now, from last year to this year, I don't know, what has changed, so I can't speak to what's happening right now. I can only speak to what they told us back then. And what I've noticed is that, man, everybody's stuff seems to be jacked up. I mean, I know people that have, millions of subscribers, and their videos aren't even coming through.
Yeah.
And you see people that have, these crazy amount of subscribers like that, and they're coming out making videos saying, hey, we're still here. I don't know why you guys aren't seeing our stuff, but we're still here. Maybe do a search for us and get us back on your plate, type thing or whatever. So I don't really know what's happening with the algorithm. And I've kind of given up on trying to figure it out because I kind of want to retain my sanity, So it's kind of one of those things where, if it's people that I know that I watch or whatever, I'll go seek them out.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks, but I mean, it's just kind of what it is. I noticed that when I am looking at my dashboard, it's like YouTube is spoon feeding me the same people over and over and over. Right. And there's so much more out there.
Yeah.
Than just the same, 4 or 5, 6 barbecue guys or whatever. And, nothing against them, but dude, I want to see everybody, I don't want to just see your stuff all the time. But I don't know, man. I can't really put a finger on exactly why it's doing it, but it's definitely, it has been noticed.
Yeah. There's Tom. Let me see if this will pop up real easy. Yeah, there you go. One channel he follows put out a video answering where she's been. Turns out she's been putting out weekly content. It's just not going to the subscribers.
Yeah.
There
is a setting when you do your default, when you upload your videos, there is on the very front page of when you do your upload, there's probably about 3/4 of the way down. I can't remember exactly what it says, but there's a button there that it determines whether or not it goes out to your normal subscribers and people that are have notifications on for you. And so that might be something that maybe something got screwed up in there, and it turns it on to where it doesn't send it to those people. It sends it to everybody else. I'm not saying it is, but it's something to kind of keep an eye on as a content creator.
No, absolutely. Yeah, there's brother Rick. What's happening, brother?
Yeah, man.
Nice. But yeah, it was crazy because it would be like in a spurt. Now I'm getting yours. And it's funny that the odd thing, Rick, had Rick on last week, and Rick was another one I wasn't getting any of his videos.
Yeah.
All this week, I'm seeing Rick videos, which is great, because I wasn't even getting the notifications when he would go live. Yeah. He'd do his weekly live and everything, and I wouldn't even get those. Then there's this other guy from San Antonio, Lytle to be exact. I always get his garbage for some reason. Hi, Chef.
That's an OG you talking about right there,
That's
man.
The OG right there. I love Chef. Hi, Chef. How are you? Give Miss Libby my love.
Speaking of OG, I just had in this whole topic we're talking about, I just had one of T-Roy's videos pop up on my feed today. As a matter of fact, I'm like, dude, I didn't even know he's back to making videos.
That's it. I had a T-Roy video. It was a rib video, and it popped up like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like, oh my! It's like, geez, it's like, come on, man. I'm like, oh, I just go back to the good old days when my entire week was laid out by my family's videos. That come Sunday afternoon, I had got everybody's content for the entire week. I had new ideas coming out to try to do recipes, and man, it's just one of those things. But like you're saying, you get into watching some different things, and it really puts a tornado in there
It
on
does.
that algorithm, man. But hey, it is what it is. But everyone's still around. You might have to do a quick 2 second and go and get into your subscriptions and go and click who you want to see. But the
Yeah.
content is there, and yeah, it's good. But what have been some of the new recipes? Like I said, that I saw the pulled pork and the chipotle coleslaw. Now that threw me. It's like, ooh, chipotle. Now I'm a slaw fan. I love slaw. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, that's now officially on the list. But what other stuff you've been cooking? You've been playing around with anything new, or
Man, I've
always
been
going
just,
back to a old favorite?
I've been dabbling around with so many different things, and it's like I don't even remember what the hell I cooked yesterday sometimes, because we've just been doing a bunch of different things here and there. But I haven't really gotten too crazy adventures. I do. The thing is, this is I do a lot of cooks. I just don't film them all. I don't put them all
Yeah.
on YouTube. I don't put them on IG all the time. But we're constantly cooking back here, and I'll go back there and like I said, I put the old backline, the original backline open fire cooker that I've got. Put that back into service, and man, we've been cooking a lot of tri-tip on that thing. We get the prime tri-tips here at RHEB where they're completely untrimmed, so they still have all the fat and everything on it, which is
Oh,
what you want.
wow. Okay.
And so I've been playing around cooking with that. I've got the discatas, like the Argentinian discatas. And
Yep.
so we do, stuff back there, making pastas and raviolis and stuff like that back there, over open fire. And so it's just been, me doing a lot of stuff like that. And I was just thinking today, I was like, man, maybe I should start filming some of this stuff, but it just gets to a point where, man, I'm just cooking. I'm cooking to have fun and just cook, and maintain having fun, doing it. When you feel like you have to film everything, it just kind of, to me, it kind of, pulls away from it sometimes. And sometimes I just want to sit back, man, and just have a good time and burn that post oak and play around with this or that and the other and see how this tastes and see how that tastes. One of the things that I still do get is I get a lot of comments. I get a lot of emails, DMs, people asking, about this or that and the other when it comes to cooking different things or whatever. And I still continue to tell people, try it. There's no cheat code, because I think a lot of people still look for the cheat code, right? There's no cheat code.
Yes.
Just try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You might, well, what if I do this and blah, blah, blah? Well, you know what, dude, you might start a new trend. You won't know until you try it.
Yeah.
I've never tried it, but I can't tell you it won't work. I can't tell you it's going to be nasty or whatever. I can tell you what I might think might happen with it, but dude, go prove it. So Don't be afraid, man. Just get out there, have fun, do what you do. You don't always have to go run and post it or, whatever. Play with it, see what happens.
Yeah, but no, you nailed that with the cheat code. And it's still, and it's people who are getting into it and all that. Sure, you ask questions, that's what we love. Love
Yeah.
to give our knowledge, because they might teach me a thing or two, or do something a certain way that I never thought of. But it's that cheat code. Well, how long does this pork butt or these ribs take to cook?
Exactly.
Till it's done. Each meat every piece of meat is different. Every seasoning is different. Every injection is different. You're not going to have, oh yeah, that's the, put it in the oven at 350 for 3 hours and 15 minutes. It doesn't work that way. You
Yeah.
know, one's going to have some more fat, one's going to be much more leaner and a bigger piece. And it's all going to cook. I've done. We did a big event, and our friend wanted a bunch of pulled pork,
Mm-hmm.
and he was having a grand opening. We cooked 15 pork butts. So yes, 15 pork butts fits on the backline competition style pit. Brought to you by
Absolutely.
Backline Smokers. Contact Ryan Newland. Hashtag Team Backline for the win.
There you go.
We had it jammed, and she cooked like a dream, but you had 15 different temperatures.
Yeah.
They all wound up finishing up relatively about the same time, but you had one that was 170. You had one that was 160. You had that fluctuation between them all. They're on the same temperature cooking, same cooking vessel, same grate. They're sitting right next to each other, two
Yep.
completely different internals. And I don't know. If I could come up with that answer, I might make a nickel or two, you know. But
But that's why you tell people, when they keep asking for that internal temperature, it's like I tell people all the time, like, if you want to be consistently inconsistent, cook to a temperature.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because, well, so and so said I have to cook my brisket until it gets to 202. Okay, well then why are you asking me? Because you already believe that that's the way to go. Go with it, right?
yeah,
But if you're asking me, I'm going to tell you all of these are going to be different. It's not going to matter about the temperature. It's all going to be, the beat's going to tell you when it's done if you just listen to it, right?
that's it. Yeah,
And that's how you stay consistent. Because again, if you not to bring up old stuff, but it is still kind of funny to me. But if you remember the hashtag brisket challenge video we did,
yes, I do.
yeah, and side note, that was probably the most fun video I've ever made to this day, because it was just a fun
Yeah,
time. It wasn't, kicking anybody down. It was just a fun video to do. But anyway, where I was getting with that was, we had Ryan. We were at Ryan's place, and he had the original shot pit. It was like a 350-gallon shot pit he had there, or whatever it was, and we all had briskets on there. Me, Ryan, Federico had some on. JB had some on. We all had briskets on. We had beef ribs on. We had pork ribs. I mean, we had this pit loaded, doing all kinds of stuff, cooking all day. And all of those briskets were trimmed up very similarly, and they all came off at different times, like you said. And what was crazy about it was Ryan's particular brisket. Don't know what was different about his brisket. We took his brisket up to 217 degrees before it got to the tenderness we were looking for.
yeah.
That's the highest I've ever, taken a brisket to. But we stayed to our principles of, hey, you know what? When it's tender, it'll let us know. And we pulled it off. Perfect brisket.
Yeah.
We had one that came
absolutely.
off at 198, and the longest one was 217 on the same cooker, the same session.
Absolutely, absolutely. And everyone's the 203, the magic number 203. Well, what's 203? 203 is a guideline.
Yeah.
So, like you said, some are going to be 197, 198. Some are going to be 203.
Yeah.
Some are going to be, like you said, 217. Heck, I had that one right there. We're up in Vermont this year at a competition. And that brisket, she would not break. She would not break. I was lucky it was CBA and it was the 3:00 brisket turn in, because I needed all of it. And finally she hit 212, and she finally broke.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's where it wanted to go. And I'm sitting there, and brother, I
You
am
were sweating.
bullets. And it was relatively comfortable up in those mountains. So the temperature was very nice, and I am losing it because it's like, I'm running out of time. Eventually, I'm just going to have to pull her and slice her and put her in the box, just turn something in. But it's like, it's not there. She's not there. I know I didn't overshoot it. I know that because of the due diligence and the notes I've taken, and a little scale of where how the probe went in, and I go, no, she just needs another half hour. It's like, okay, 10 more minutes, and then boom, finally, and then boom, first place brisket. But it's like, ooh. But like you said, each one does it. You need to. That's the thing. You need to stick to your guidelines. You need to believe in what you know. Take your knowledge that you've learned and stick with it. Don't just pull it because it hits a number.
Exactly. You can't rush it.
You can't rush it.
You can't rush it, man.
You'll know when it's done. Yes, and most of the time there is a number involved because we use our meat probes to test them out, so it's going to spit a number out at you. But it's like, no, as long as it goes in and you're happy with it, that's when it's done.
Absolutely.
So what's the rate of brisket? I don't know. It's a window of about 20, 30 degrees. Depending on how you want to do it. Oh, but yeah, it's crazy. But you said you nailed it with people are now looking for that cheat code.
Yeah.
I want to do this, I want to do that. Well, it doesn't work that way. Can you still get good eats?
Absolutely.
Or if you just want the cheat code and pull it, it's still going to eat great. But you want that memorable experience of, and that's a big part of it too. You're waxing poetically about the memorable experience, or that flavor bomb, the melt in your mouth. You want that at the end, because anybody in here who knows anything about cooking will just stick with brisket, of what goes into cooking a brisket.
Absolutely.
And
you think about it,
all day affair.
Absolutely. And you look at all the briskets that we've made. We've made a ton of briskets, I'm sure, collectively between myself, you, and everybody in the chat that's made them. And you think about it, man, all these briskets you've made, I know for me, I can probably count on one hand how many I consider to be perfect. You make a lot of great briskets, don't get me wrong, but that perfect brisket, it's like, that's why we keep doing it. We keep doing it because we want to make that perfect brisket. But you know what? We make a lot of briskets that are absolutely phenomenal, but we're not going to say they're perfect yet,
Yeah, no. How do they say it in other worlds? Chasing the dragon. You just chasing that perfect brisket that you cooked that one day. And the worst part about those briskets is I have found two briskets I've cooked have fit in that category. And the worst part about it was I didn't pay attention to the cook.
Yep.
I was just cooking. It was a party we were having here with a bunch of people from work coming up for the weekend. And so I got the briskets on. I got some ribs going. I got, the Blackstone rolling. And the briskets were just doing their thing, and it's like, ooh, I forgot the brisket. So, still in the cooler resting. And then they were the greatest brisket, the two greatest briskets I've ever cooked. And
like, what the hell did I do?
And it's so easy. You did nothing. You did other things. Just let it do what it do. Very
Dude, a lot of
simple.
time, barbecue is not hard. We make it harder.
We make it hard.
You know, when
Yep.
we overanalyze stuff, and the thing that I try to tell people now is, when you're in your kitchen, you know how to cook, right? Well, yeah, same
Yeah.
thing out here. No, it's different. No, it's not. Why is it different? You're applying heat to meat, and doing whatever you're doing. Just cook. Just cook. The
Yeah.
only aspect that's different is you got to maintain the fire or whatever to maintain the temperature that you're looking for. Outside of that, you're just cooking.
That's it. That's it. It's the
So,
same difference.
absolutely.
And yeah, oh yeah, when you're doing it on the pit, it's the same as in the oven. And I
Yeah.
tell everybody, I go, they're like, you can really do all this stuff on your smoker? Absolutely. It's temperature. Okay, if I don't want it a quote unquote smoky flavor, I don't add wood. I just run the temperature on charcoal. You're going
Charcoal.
to get a little bit of that from it, but nothing came true more than that. Than um, one of the comps this year. I believe it was Rhode Island, and we do a potluck
Mm-hmm.
Friday night when we all rolled in. And it was like, oh, the week before I did, couple big ass pork loins and, doing that all up. And I'm like, something, I just want to get down there this week, get set up, relax a little bit, just enjoy myself. I'm going to make Lazy Man's lasagna. Ziti noodles, ricotta, some mozzarella cheese and sauce, mix it all up, put it in a full tray, foil it, and throw it in there.
There you go.
Perfect. The
Yep.
hit of the weekend. And okay, it's the same as I do it in the oven on a Sunday afternoon, and we're feeling it. That's what we want. I just did it on the back line, and it's like, okay,
Takes no
perfect,
thought.
perfect.
Takes no thought at all.
None.
Just
None
slap it together and
whatsoever.
go. Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Those are the best meals, brother.
Yeah.
Those are the best meals.
Absolutely.
I got a couple questions from our buddy, one of our buddy Braden, young
Okay.
man who's been cooking with me this year in the kids' queues, and they're pretty much all about a certain thing you kind of have now ventured into, because not only are you a cook and YouTube and all this, you've gotten into the podcast world. Now, I've known this a bit because obviously we all know I'm a mailman, and that's what I listen to on the road is podcasts all day. And I love listening to barbecue podcasts all day because I always find something from depending on a guest or the hosts themselves, a recipe, a tip, a trick, anything like that. And a while back, I stumbled upon the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'm in. And it was BKC Cooks. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, Brandon. I know. Okay, cool. At least I had, a face to the voice on the podcast. It's like, okay. And, a bunch of guys were on it. It's like, okay, I'm digging what they're doing. And then they had a guest on that you might be I'm pretty sure you're very familiar with, this gentleman called the Dawgfatha. And then lo and behold, later on down the line, you're in the rotation, if you will. So how did you dabbling your toes in the podcasting world come about, other than being a guest? So being on the host or co-host side.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Man, I tell you what, the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast has been a complete blast to do. We've got a great bunch of guys. I think the entire Black Smoke crew is up to 14, 15 guys, something like that. But
Holy cow.
we've got people all over the country that's actually part of the Black Smoke Barbecue podcast. In fact, you had mentioned T-Dub Barbecue earlier.
T-Dub.
It was in the
He's
one
yes,
of our
sir.
co-hosts. Yeah, he's one of our co-hosts. But anyway, yeah, man. So you got the core group with us that are on the podcast that you typically see week in and week out. Brandon is BKC Cooks is our main host. We got T-Dub Barbecue. We got Charlie Maverick Barbecue. We got myself. We got Jeff, who's Outdoors with Jeff. And we have another Jeff that's Jeff Greer. And so, man, what we do, they had me come on the podcast, to answer your question. They had me come on the podcast as a guest, came on. We had a great time. We chopped it up, talking about barbecue, talking about YouTube, talking about all kinds of things or whatever. And we kind of noticed that we had a great rapport.
Yes.
We got along well. We our interactions were, it was just completely organic, and so the guys had, met amongst themselves and said, hey, let's extend this guy an invitation to see if he wants to join us. And I was thrilled, absolutely. Hell yeah, let's do it. I'd never done anything like podcasting. It seemed like a lot of fun. And these guys were all cool as hell. They, they're all my brothers now. We celebrate like brothers. We fight like brothers. We do everything like brothers. That's just who we are, And so I think you see that, and you can hear that when we do our podcast. Again, our interactions are so organic. We've had pretty much the who's who in the barbecue world, come on our podcast. And some of them come in and they say, how nervous they are and, this and that, the other. And we're like, man, just get yourself, go get your whiskey, whatever it is you want. We're going to chop it up for an hour. We're going to have a great time. And by the end of the podcast, they're like, dude, this is the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah.
I came in here, all nervous and this and that, the other. And you guys just make it so much fun. And that's what we do, man. We really have a great time. We talk about barbecue. We talk about some other things. We actually have an After Dark show that we do that goes on our Patreon, where it gets as my man Brandon says, we get ignorant in there. We talk about a lot of different things that's probably not for the women and children, whatever. But no, man, we have a great time doing it. And like I said, we have a lot of fantastic guests. It's kind of crazy. Because myself, I haven't really been able to go to some of the events because there's events all over the country, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not in a position where I can just jump out and go to all of these events, all the time. And that's where having the crew the way that we have it positioned, we have people on the East Coast, we have people Central, we got people on the West Coast. So when we have events in Atlanta, which was just last week, we had representation there. We have an event that's in Louisiana. We got representation there. So we're able to get around and do different things, right? So, and in fact, here in a couple of weeks, Brandon and myself are going to be in Hondo, with Al Fragoni and the rest of our, 1,000 content creators or whatever it's going to be out there for the Texas Open Fire Meetup, which I'm looking forward to. So, we're going to be there. We're going to do some podcasting. And before I continue, anybody that's listening, November 8th in Hondo, Texas is the Texas Open Fire Meetup. If you haven't got tickets, get your tickets, get out there, come check us out. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can go and look up YouTube videos now for last year's event and kind of see what you're going to get yourself into. But I'm definitely looking forward to it, man. We're going to have a good time. We're going to be out there with all of these different content creators for, a couple of days, podcasting and doing all kinds of whatevers. And then on the 8th is when it's going to be open to the public. We're going to have a great time, man. We're just going to have a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, see, this is the problem with the OGs, okay? They have that little bit of privilege to them, and you really can't say anything. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's the wrong one. There he is. There it is. And evidently, any idiot can do it. Well, Chef, I am living proof of this. I am the head idiot of the barbecue podcast world. If I can do it, sure, anybody can do it. I don't know. You might be a little too old. You know how technology and old people go, but I'm sure that lovely young lady you're married to can help you turn the computer on. You know, hi, Miss Livy. I haven't even had to say sorry, Miss Libby, once yet tonight. So that's the thing. But no, like I said, I found it a while ago, and like I said, I was able to put a couple of faces to the names, and like I said, I enjoy it immensely, and because I love to get all the barbecue, as much barbecue content as I can take. You know,
Yeah.
because like I said, in the end, I'm a student of the game.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of guys who have different techniques or different styles, different ways of looking at a cook or a recipe or ingredients that I would
Oh yeah.
never have thought of. To hear those, but like you said, the rapport that you guys have, and like I said, in the barbecue, being in the barbecue world for as long as I have been now, and you have, and everybody pretty much watching and listening has. You know, we understand how each other talk.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you were saying, you know, the brothers are brothers. And I can catch the little quick personal jabs at, you know, a little joke here. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to have to ask him about that. I know that has a meaning to it. You know, you're able to catch all that stuff, but you don't get those moments, you know, unless you're tight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Those come out so organically, you know, and they just flow, and it's like, yeah, and then you ask, and next thing you know, it leads to a story, and that leads to just nothing but good times and good memories. Um, but yeah, Brandon, yeah, the host, but Braden was asking that, you know, because he takes in as much knowledge as he can. He also is asking about your live streams. Do you
Mm-hmm.
do much of the live streams anymore, or very sporadically? He remembers, like he says, the last one he saw of yours, you were at, you did it from you were at a butcher shop.
So I have not done live stream in a while. Um, and it's unfortunate because I really had a lot of fun doing live streams, you know,
Yeah,
and live streams is where you really kind of get to connect, you know,
yeah,
with your crowd and, you know, the people that come and watch you and this and that and the other. You get to really connect to them, you know, and unfortunately, like I said, you know, when we had some you know, some unfortunate events that happened, and it was one of those things, like I said, it was too much access, you know, so to speak.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
when a lot of things were being said and a lot, you know, some comments and statements and things of that nature that was really super negative. And it was kind of a reflection of you know, kind of how our world is today. You know, you got a lot of division, you got a lot of
mhm,
strife going on or whatever. Well, that's what we were kind of facing back then.
yeah.
And it was kind of like, you know what, let's back up. Let's just focus on what's important right now. I don't need to do this right now because I don't really need that type of stress in my life. You know, the people that I still, you know, are family to me, we'll still talk to, we still hang out, we, you know, do whatever. I just, you know, part of it was kind of letting the live stream go by the wayside there for a little bit. And I kind of miss it. You know, we were kind of actually talking about that a few weeks ago. I was like, man, maybe we should start doing live streams again. So I don't know, man. Maybe we'll bring it back.
Yeah.
You know, we just have to have some really good moderators and that type of thing, and we might bring it back. It might be a
Yeah.
fun thing to do. I kind of want to do that with our podcast too, because I think that would be fun to have all of
Oh,
these you know,
absolutely.
people on. So yeah, you know, it's something that we'll look at. Hopefully, we can bring it back. Hopefully, we can.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And obviously T Dub is in the chat, but
Yeah,
please, from me to the rest of the boys, tell them I love what you guys are doing.
appreciate
Continue
that.
it. I look forward to the new episodes when they come out, and and it's great because you run the gamut of your guests. You one time you could be talking, to your next door neighbor, the king of the cul-de-sac. Just
Hmm.
a backyard weekend warrior. The next one is it's a restaurateur or a
Yeah,
master from this barbecue place that I've never heard of.
exactly,
And
exactly.
forgive me that I can't remember. It's the latest episode that came out, and it was a gentleman from Louisiana, and
What
he
dog
was
cooking?
yes,
Yeah,
his stories was incredible, and especially
yeah,
talking about the TV show.
yeah.
And you didn't come in and stand on your mark. Everyone back behind the counter. Do it again. And it's like, him talking, cutting himself into existence of his
Yeah.
cousin. Whatever you do, don't cut yourself. Don't cut yourself.
And then he cuts himself.
He cuts him, but it's those stories that, you love you hang on every word.
Yeah.
And to hear their upbringing, where they got their culinary influences from. He's very so highly of his grandmother.
Mhm.
You know, and they that stuff is just great. But please tell all the boys, I love what they're doing. It's in my regular rotation, and thank you for doing what you guys are doing and bringing that content, because like I said, I'm a student of the game, and I'm always looking to learn new stuff, and you guys are crushing it. So thank everybody for the show and continued success with it. But brother, I
Absolutely.
appreciate your time, and I need to have one more discussion. Whether it's going to be quick, that I don't know. These food groups. There's one food group that is very low on the totem pole, if you will.
Okay.
And you and I are full believers in that. If I get a new rub, okay, they're like, how do you test new rubs? Well, there's two food groups I test them with. One is chicken wings. I always try new rubs with chicken wings. It's cheap, it's easy, and who don't like a wing?
Yeah.
The second and most underrated food group out there is popcorn.
Popcorn. Come on, man. I've been telling people that for
Come on.
years. Popcorn
And no,
is a food group.
not the microwave. You need to get
No.
yourself a nice popper, nice fresh kernels, the whole nine. Take the time and energy and build it up, and you can test your rubs out with that. Heck, you could test your sauces with popcorn too.
Yeah.
Now, I know you take it to a whole nother level, a whole nother tremendous, flavorful level. You're not afraid to hit some jalapenos up there. You're
Oh,
not
hell
afraid to
no.
hit some hot sauce. What are some incredible popcorn recipes, if you will?
Man, you know what? I've played around with a bunch of different things, but what I always my go-to is I'm starting it off with a little coconut oil and some butter.
Mhm.
Pop it up. I've got the Fiesta brand popcorn salt. So I
Okay.
got to get that. I got to get that put on there, and then I got to get my dish of jalapenos, man. Pickled jalapenos most of the time, but we've done fresh before too. But it get a little, and people said, "Well, won't that make your popcorn soggy?" No, we don't. We don't dump the jalapenos in the popcorn. It's
No.
a little dish. You put your jalapenos in it. You set it in there with your popcorn, and just every so often you grab you a jalapeno and toss it in. Man, I'm telling you, it's fantastic. If I don't do
A
that,
palate cleanser, if you will.
man, I'm telling you, it's a regular thing.
Huh?
Here's a funny thing, Max. This is no. You can ask Jean. She's in the chat. She'll tell you. I
She's
will
saying she makes the
literally.
popcorn most of the time.
Oh yeah, she's got it on lock. So I stay in my lane. I eat the popcorn. She cooks the popcorn. So, but there's times, man, that I will literally,
Oh,
go out here and I will be cooking all day, grilling, smoking, whatever it may be, live fire, whatever it may be. Right, I will be doing stuff all day. By the end of the day, I want to go take a shower. I want to sit down on the couch and watch TV. And I don't even eat what I cook. I pop popcorn.
yeah. Yep.
That's what I do. It just is what it is. If there's days I'm undecided, I don't know what I want to cook, I'll make popcorn.
I love it. I
so
love
that's
it.
what we do.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, but here's
Miss
another thing though.
Reese's Pieces in hers.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
She'll do the Reese's.
that's
She does
excellent.
she does candy corn sometimes too. I'm not a candy corn fan, but she does.
Oh, I love candy corn. I know I'm in the minority of candy lovers out there who enjoy candy corn. But the candy corn and popcorn, that's a pro move. That is a pro move right there.
The smoke shake, the smoke bomb from my Uncle Steve, fantastic on popcorn.
That's it. Because I remember back in the day, in when right when the Gator Shake hit, it was like, dude, put that on popcorn, son. I still do to this day. There is I swear to God, there is a bottle of Gator Shake on every couch down here. There's one in my reclining love seat over here, and there's one on the main couch in the console. There's a bottle in each. I'll guarantee it, because depending on where I'm sitting, I need that bottle of Gator Shake right there, or anything that's there. That's why I have the whole wall. I could go with hot sauce. I could go with seasoning. I could go barbecue sauce. I got it all in one spot. But oh man, the love of popcorn, brother. It's underrated. Absolutely. It's underrated.
And the dessert shake on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Before I get out of here on this, man, I've got to tell this story because I've never. And Uncle Steve is in the chat, and I've never told him about this. So I'm gonna get a chance to let him know about this as well. So I'm gonna set the scene because this is kind of pretty hilarious the way it unfolded. But back in, I think it was May, friends of ours were getting married, and they invited us to go for a weekend. It was going to be like a bachelor and a bachelorette type thing, all joint. So we went out to the hill country. There was these people out here. They had these haciendas, that we were staying at for the weekend, and they had it all set up for us to go do wine tours and take all the fellas over to Garrison Brothers, to where they make the whiskey and all of that stuff. So we go down here. And it was decided that I was going to, on that Saturday, we went down there on a Friday, but on that Saturday night, after we've done all these wine tastings and drinking bourbon or whatever, we were going to come back and I was going to grill, steaks for everybody and, all of this stuff. So on this Friday night, when we get down there, we go and we all meet up at this restaurant. We're waiting for the last couple to show up. And so they showed up. And he's sitting across from me, and his wife is sitting next to me, and Jean's over here. And we're just all talking, whatever, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, we're, whatever. Some people walk in, and I saw this guy come in, and he goes all the way around the table, and he goes over to the guy. He goes, "Hey, man, I just wanted to come shake your hand and say hello. I don't want to interrupt you, whatever, but, keep doing what you're doing. Stay safe, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I just want to be glad to meet you." And I'm, man, who's this dude? I didn't know who he was. Right. So we finished dinner. We were over there cutting up cracking jokes, this and that, the other, blah blah blah. So anyway, we're in the car going back over to the haciendas, and somebody had said something about, yeah, he was talking about, this one time he showed me his Lamborghini. I was like, Lamborghini? I'm like, who the hell is this dude? And they're like, oh, this is he races cars. And I'm like, well, I'm not real deep into racing, car racing or whatever, but like, what kind of car? Well, he's drag racer. Well, what's his name? Tony Schumacher. I said, who's Tony Schumacher? I don't know who that is. Well, Brandon is like deep into drag racing, right?
Yeah.
So I text Brandon. I said, Brandon, I know you into drag racing. Do you know who the Tony Schumacher is? He's like, shit, hell yeah, I know who. That's like the Michael Jordan of drag racing.
Yeah.
So I was like, really, and so I shot him a picture. I was like, man, that's who I'm hanging out this weekend, and so he shoots me pictures of him and his son when they were at one of his races when his son was, young. And so the next day, we go to meet up for lunch or whatever, and I go show him this picture. I say, hey man, my friend sent me this. Oh, dude, that's so cool, whatever, blah blah blah. So we're all kicking it, whatever. I'm hanging out with this guy, the Michael Jordan of drag racing or whatever, and you would never know because he was just cool as hell, And so, long story short, we get back to the place where we were staying at, and I get the grills out, whatever, and I start grilling steaks, and I pull out pineapples, and so I'm grilling pineapples, and I'm using Uncle Steve's dessert shake. Everybody in the place, mind's blown, dude. Mine's completely blown. They're like, what is that you're using? I'm like, oh, this is Uncle Steve's dessert shake. I'm like, this stuff is fantastic on, grilled pineapples, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're all over taking pictures of the bottle, Man, we got to order this stuff. This stuff is fantastic. We got to order. I've never had anything like this. And I'm like, yeah, this stuff is pretty damn good. So Uncle Steve, yeah, thank you, man.
Oh, that's an incredible story. That's an incredible story. And especially, now that the holiday seasons are coming up, the holiday shake is going to be making a difference. That goes hella good on popcorn too.
There you go.
That Christmas spirit. Tony told Alton we can't be friends.
Yeah.
Your food is too good. It won't fit in the car.
Yeah. This was like I think it was about a month or so before he started his part of the season doing his drag racing. And he was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to fit in the car, dude.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Tony Schumacher. Wow.
I had no clue.
Yeah. But yeah, he was one of the top fuel cars. So
he's won there whatever 8-time NHRA champion or whatever.
Yeah,
he got inducted to the Hall of Fame, and that was the funny part is we were sitting at this one spot and we're drinking bourbon and smoking cigars, and he was like, "Yeah, man, we were at this thing, whatever, blah blah blah." And his wife jumps. He's like, "What thing were we at, Tony?" Well, they were inducting me into the Drag Racing Hall of Fame, but that's not the point,
Humble as the day is long, you
man.
gotta respect that. You gotta respect that.
Good guy. We're still friends to the day. We make sure we send them well wishes and stay safe and all of that stuff. So yeah, I think they're heading out to Vegas now.
Yeah. Hey, Jules, what's up? And if I'm not mistaken, I saw brother Joe, Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue. What's up, brother?
There's a blast from the past. I haven't talked to Joe in a while.
That's it. I was actually talking to Braden earlier when he was getting his questions ready, and he was watching an old live. And I'm like, oh, that's good news. I'm like, and he goes, hey, who is the special guest you had on that would do the voices? And I just died. I go, what do you mean the voices? Well, there was one time it was like the Macho Man, and then there was a Marilyn Monroe, and then there was a squirrel. And I'm like, brother Joe.
That's
he goes,
Joe.
how did he do those? I go, wonderful things of technology, brother.
Yeah.
Wonderful things.
Joe's a character, man.
Joe's a great guy. I love Joe. Possibly the best sausage cook out there. I will say it. He has some incredible sausage recipes.
Yeah.
But brother, thank you, man. This has been great. And I promise, before Dutch says a damn thing, it ain't gonna be for another 5 years, brother. I promise that. I promise that.
Well, you know what?
You
I
know,
know how life is, man. So if it is 5 years, it's all good. You holler, you let me know. I'm here.
yeah, you know something. Maybe we'll set something up for the in the new just in the new year. Get through the holidays, and have you and a couple boys from the podcast on, and we'll go
Oh, that'd be
the
great.
whole deep dive and how it all came about to starting it. You know, the true backstory of the Black Smoke Barbecue podcast. I'd love to hear it.
We'll see if
That
we
would
can
be
make it
great.
happen, man.
Awesome, brother. But dude, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you. Shout out any social media pages, addresses, emails, and shit. Anybody? There it is. Thought you're right. Sorry, Miss Libby. Um, anybody you're working with now? Give them
Yeah.
all. Give everybody a shout out.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm working with Pit Boss. I've been working with them for a while now. Doing great work with them, as well as Harder Charcoal. Harder Charcoal has been a great partner to us, and they are now actually one of our official sponsors for the podcast as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so definitely Harder Charcoal is really doing great things for us. I'm also working with Dexcom. You know, for people that don't know, I am diabetic, and Dexcom has literally changed my life. You know, as far as being able to understand my numbers, getting my A1C down. Last A1C was 5.2, I believe. So
Mm-hmm.
we're doing excellent with on that front. And so those are the main people that I'm doing work with. I actually do videos for Pit Boss. We have our own playlist again. It's called Barbecue Boulevard with the Dawgfatha. So you can see my videos there. You can check me out on the Black Smoke Barbecue podcast on YouTube, as well as anywhere you get your podcast from. So you can come check us out there, as well as my own YouTube channel, The Dawgfatha's Barbecue. Check me out there, as well as on Instagram, Facebook. You can email me, the dawgfathersbarbecue at gmail. So reach out to me with any questions or anything that you might have. And Max, I just appreciate you having me back on. Gene and I, we absolutely love you, and we're glad and thrilled, man, that you are doing well. Your podcast is thriving. Digging a new set back there, it's not the studio and all of that, but it's nice and cozy, man, and love it. We love it.
Absolutely, brother. But like I said, I appreciate you. I love you to death. Please give my love to Miss Jean and the girls.
Absolutely.
And we will get something set up, brother, and we'll do it up. But I appreciate you taking the time, my man. All right, hang on one second. I'll close it out and jump right with you. Oh, guys, I told you. Every time we get with Alton, it's a heck of a conversation, and once again, it did not disappoint. But thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you. Next week, we have a gentleman I've been trying to get in touch. He's tough to get in touch with, this one, and he's a wild man. Not only is he a barbecuer, but he could also probably pass as a stand-up comedian. His timing is that good. And I'm speaking of the one and only Mr. Wes Garrett of Politically Incorrect Competition Team, better known as Producer Wes from the Chicken Fried with Chicken Fried podcast with Bill Purvis and LC. We're going to cut it up. We're going to let him run, tell some stories, maybe some behind the scenes stories, and we'll let the chips fall with them. That's next week. Like I said, thank you all for tuning in. Catch the video on Facebook and YouTube. And YouTube, especially now with, Facebook deleting all the videos after 30 days. Everything's right there in YouTube. So hit that subscribe button. You'll have all, oh, God knows. I don't even know anymore. We're closing in on 400. I know that. I don't know the exact number, but we'll be hitting 400 at some point within the next year, I think. But you have all the episodes right at your fingertips. Any questions or comments, please send them to pitlifebbqpodcast@gmail.com. Like always, share, review, the whole nine. And until next week, keep the smoke rolling.